Undertone is a 2025 Canadian supernatural horror film written and directed by Ian Tuason in his directorial debut. The film stars Nina Kiri as Evie, a woman who hosts a paranormal podcast with her friend Justin, played by Adam DeMarco, in a voice role where she is a skeptic to his believer. After Evie moves back home to become the caregiver to her dying mother, she and Justin are sent recordings of a married couple experiencing paranormal noise in their home, drawing Evie into fear and paranoia. Now, Evie and her mother are the only characters to be shown on screen in the film. All other characters are heard as off-screen voices, thus conveying the film's horror through its sound design. This movie premiered at Fantasia International Film Festival on July 27, 2025. So that's almost a year ago. And it was theatrically released in the US by A24 a couple of weeks ago. This movie, I saw on a Monday night at the Regal in Brooklyn, which is a really nice Regal, by the way, not to digress. They totally changed up the design of that theater. It used to be really old. They had photos of the Dark Knight, the Warriors, this old kind of painted graphics. It's super modern now. There's a new IMAX theater, a new 4DX theater. Anyway, all that just to say, it was very nice to go to that Regal, which used to be very old, and they updated it. It's beautifully remodeled. But this movie, Undertone, I enjoyed it. Did I think this movie was one of the best movies ever? No. I think every time there's a new horror movie that does something a little innovative, people will be like, well, this is really good. This is this is the scariest movie you'll ever hear, is what people have been saying about this. It is very creepy and very unsettling. I was very happy to see this in the theater. This is a movie, unlike They Will Kill You, that I would recommend, you must see this in a theater, just for the pure experience of getting the maximum scares, because it's entirely built around sound design. And what I do like about this is it isn't reliant on jump scares specifically. There's a lot going on in this movie that, isn't just jump scares. It's the buildup, it's the sound, it's the way the camera kind of holds place. A movie that came out last year, Good Boy, was also a little similar in that there were only two main actors, and it was all kind of shot in a house. Very low budget, which is very admirable. This is one of those movies that you watch and you think, oh, maybe I can make a movie like this. I mean, the budget was $500,000 and it made $18.5 million. This was a box office success, and it did receive positive reviews. So it's doing something right. By all definition, this movie is a success. They Will Kill You, I'm comparing it to because they both involve themes of there's some demon shit. I feel like that's not even a spoiler. Whereas when I was reviewing They Will Kill You, I was spoiler alert. This movie, though, to me, there's clearly this supernatural undertone. I didn't even think about that. I just said it. But what I love about this movie is craft. It's really well crafted. For a movie that is only $500,000 for a budget, which again is a very small budget, it has a very, very solid script. Most horror movies have very, they just drag. The stories drag. This is a story that, again, I don't think is totally unpredictable. I think that you'll kind of know where it's going. Most horror movies are like that. But it manages to reinvent the wheel just enough. And not even just enough. It does a lot different. By basing this movie entirely in a podcast, it's able to feel more isolated and more creepy. You feel more alone. You're only with this woman, Evie, who's with her mother, who's sick and in bed for most of the movie. So you just feel like you're in a house with this girl recording a podcast with some guy who's not even on screen. There's a very strong sense of this unsettling energy. And the audio stuff is great. The way, we're cutting in audio, and then there's scary stuff happening in her apartment. It's so excellent. And I really don't want to reveal too much. It's not a movie, again, that I think is the best movie ever, or even I wouldn't be this is the best horror movie of the year. It's so different. It's very impressive. What director Ian Tuason does is great. And, it makes me feel motivated to make my own kind of projects. This is a great horror movie just for that alone. It's new, it's doing stuff different. Even if the story is, borrowing or taking things from other horror stories with some supernatural elements, this is really great at transplanting it into this podcast story while giving it a new form of execution. The sound design here is great, and that's the whole reason to go see it. It's a really strong movie, and I didn't love it, but I thought it was really great. I mean, I feel like I'm honestly underselling it by saying I didn't love it. I just mean it's not the most innovative thing. It's so wonderful, and it's such a great timely thing, especially with all these podcasts. It's just a great movie that I enjoyed. Really creepy too, because I mean, they play a lot of nursery rhymes backwards and shit. It was creeping me out. So overall, I give this a very positive review. Go see Undertone. It was very enjoyable.